My name's Gene Pimentel, for those that don't know. Welcome to the first ever MetaDomainer webinar. This is an exciting project we've been working on, and on behalf of Dan Nickerson and Michael Neal and myself, I want you to know that you're part of a very exciting project that we have been developing for domainers by domainers. That's important. All three of us are very experienced in domaining, in investing, and in flipping, and we know what is sorely needed by domainers everywhere. So we got together a few months ago and decided to create a domaining system like no other that's out there. And not only that, but this is a long-term solution to many domainers' problems, and we're dedicated to continually adding features and updates to this. This is a long-term project. And boy, if you only knew the things that we have in store. We can't show it to you all today, but we're going to give you a really good overview of what we've developed. And it's an informal webinar. Just to get the word out and to give our closest associates early access to what we call MetaDomainer. And I'm going to hand this over to Dan now so he can show you exactly what MetaDomainer is capable of at this point. So Dan, take it away.
Yeah, hey, thanks, Gene. So I'm excited to be about this project, and I'm going to say that MetaDomainer is really Gene's fault. And I'll tell you why in a minute. But so on this screen, I just want to give a little history because it's one of those things where a lot of people are Gene's customers, and you may know who I am, you may not know who I am, but I always hate these things. I'm not, I don't want to show pictures of my house and my cars and my boats and all that fake stuff. Although one time I did want to sell a webinar pack where you could just pre-buy all your own pictures of fancy houses and stuff. But suffice to say, I got started in internet marketing back in around 1994, 1995. I was actually bartending, and someone asked me if I knew someone could make a website, and I said I could do that. So I started making websites. I sold my first domain in 1996. A lot of people know me from LinkUp. It was one of the first text link exchanges on the web. Was basically Google AdSense in 1997 and 1998. It's very popular. I started web hosting in 1998, and I actually still have clients from 1998 that use my hosting. They literally are paying me via PayPal, and I haven't talked to some of them in over a decade, so that's always a good business. I'm the former VP of Ideas for Joel Comm, so a lot of people know who Joel Comm is, and if you used to watch our old Ustream shows, we had our own talk shows, and I created a lot of products for Joel Comm and did a lot of marketing and copywriting and stuff back then. Most famous for creating the Socrates WordPress theme, which a lot of you use. We get tens of thousands of customers. And that's probably my main WordPress product, my main product at the moment online. But I mostly make my living doing consulting and managing very large websites for a few clients. So I have lots of experience in domains and WordPress and hosting and so forth. And side note, I'm also co-creator of the iFart app, which is the former #1 paid app in the world. And it still sells every single day. It's the most copied app in history, and yes, it makes fart noises. So, hey, Gene, you want to just give your bio real quick while you're
Yeah, I don't want to bore people to death. They can read what's on the screen, but basically, I've been an entrepreneur since '86 and brought my business online in '96, developed and managed many local businesses and websites and marketing services. Sold my first domain in 2003 for $12K, and that was an exciting day. And I've been a full-time domainer ever since. And I was a staff member at NamePros for 5 years, one of the largest domaining forums. And of course, a lot of you know me by my courses that I've created for domaining. And my main course is called Master Domaining. So that's me in a nutshell. And Michael Neal, I don't know if he's on.
So Michael Neal is a prolific domain investor. He's a good friend of both of us. Both Gene and I, we've all met each other in person, spent time together, so we all know each other well. But Michael is one of those guys who's very active on social media, but he's a big-time entrepreneur. He runs many businesses, and he has tons of domains, lots of high-value domains.
Yep.
So he's very experienced in the industry, and we also say he's the inventor of the bow tie, which is not true. So we're lying to you already on the webinar. He's not the inventor of the bow tie. But Michael's a very busy guy, but we wanted him involved for some of the bigger plans, stuff we can't even share with you today. But we see this as being a very large business in the future. So we wanted Michael involved, and he is, and so we're very pleased. And so let me just jump in. I know you guys just want to see. I don't like to do long things. I like to just show you what the value is and stuff. So I'm just going to tell you, when I say Gene's to blame for this, why was MetaDomainer created? It was created because Gene's name snagger thing. So Gene was sharing. Gene has this name snagger list, and I was getting it every day, and I ended up buying some domains, and I'm like, oh, I'll make a website for it later, or I'll do this later. And I kept thinking about myself, geez, how many domains have I bought where I said I'll make a website for it later, and how much money has that cost me over the years by not developing websites that are just parked? And as probably a lot of you know, if you have parked pages, they don't really pay too much if you have a parked page. They don't really do too much for you. They rarely get indexed in the search engines. And so essentially, if you're using a parked page service, unless that site gets existing traffic, you're not going to do much with it. So I said to myself, well, what can I do to making web page creation really easy? And so the idea kind of came from that. I wanted a way that I could make pages and I can kind of list and have a manage my inventory for domains. And so what I did was I actually created a WordPress plugin, and I developed over a dozen WordPress plugins, and of course the Socrates theme. And I always said to myself, you could use WordPress to make HTML pages really quickly, but I never saw anybody do it. So I created the plugin, or I had my programmer who designed Socrates. He's a great great programmer. I had him create this plugin that did just that. So I'm going to show you some examples here, okay? So let's just say that you bought a niche site, like you're selling golf products. And I'm actually going to go down here and scroll down this is a really fancy PowerPoint, as you guys can see. What can it do? I should go there first. I just say, what can it do? It makes landing pages in seconds for any domain. It manages them all. It enables you to categorize and tag them and track stats on that. Plus, it enables you to list them all via a shortcode on your WordPress install. And it really is one WordPress install, not multi-site, no domain mapping, no anything. You only need to manage one WordPress install. And that's another thing. There's a lot of you probably have 100 WordPress installs that are out there, and maybe they're just hosting one page. Well, you no longer need those 100 WordPress installs. You only need one. And so that's kind of really a big thing of what MetaDomainer can do.
Let me interrupt you just for a second, Dave.
Sure.
Being such an avid domainer, I have thousands and thousands of domains, and I have in the past installed hundreds of WordPress sites. And I'll tell you, installing a WordPress site isn't so bad, even though it takes some time, but managing them when they're online and they're constantly being updated for plugins, for themes, for WordPress itself, it's just a nightmare.
As are the security alerts you constantly get.
Security alerts, right, and fighting the security breaches that happen every other day. So WordPress is fantastic, but if you can consolidate it all to one WordPress installation, it's a piece of cake. And this is what MetaDomainer is built for. So go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, so I couldn't agree more. So let me just show you. So for the first domain that I bought via NameSnagger was discountgolfproducts.com. So I'm a golfer, and I saw it and I said, well, that's actually a pretty good domain name. So I bought Discount Golf Products, and then what I did was I used my existing HTML templates I shouldn't say I sell, but I give them away, and I made a site with it that looks like this. And so you'll see it says Discount Golf Products. It will say check out these Discount Golf Products. And then it has these golf products, and if you click here, it goes to Amazon, which is encoded with my affiliate ID. So I made this page in HTML, and then I kind of said to myself, well, geez, I could just use WordPress to make this page too. And so that's what I did. So if you actually go to discountgolfproducts.com in your browser, this page will load up. And you'll also notice that you get a cookie consent notice for the first time that you load the page, okay? So that's one example of a template. And then I said, well, geez, a lot of park pages, they look like link menus. So I created a template that looks like this, which has different links here. So you can see that there's 4 links here, right? Now, this actually uses the WordPress menu system to generate these links. So that means that you can actually create as many navigation menus as you want and instantly load them on a template. So say, for example, that you have 50 websites in the pet niche, right? Well, you could make one menu for the pet niche that had 10 different affiliate programs or referral links or whatever for the pet niche, and then you just load that same menu on every landing page that you have for the pet niche, right? Or you could create a page. Let's just say that you had those same domains, but you don't want to create 100 new sites. You just make a dog niche page, which has those links, and you redirect all of your niche domains to that one central domain. So you're instantly monetizing all of them based on the niche without having to create a new site for every particular domain, though you could in just a few seconds. So here is another example, and this is a small business template, okay? So this was actually created in seconds using a predefined template, right? And so you can imagine here that if you bought a small business domain like Dallas, Texas plumbers.com, for example, you could just type in Dallas, Texas plumbers. You could add up here plumbing. You could add a call to action button. You could add a background graphic for plumbing. You could add in a little information about and services. You could add some contact information, and you're done in literally like 2 minutes, right? And so you instantly have a page, and these are fully responsive as well. So I'm going to click on inspect, and I'm just going to use the inspect tool here so you can see. Oop, what did I do? I closed it right out again. Don't want to do that either. Sorry. Hold on. Ian, can you see the responsiveness in here?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so this is a responsive. I'm just going to click on the responsive. This is, by the way, if you didn't know you could do this in Google Chrome, you can just right-click on inspect, and you can click on the little icon at the top that has different mobile phones, and you can see how a site is fully responsive, like so. So then you just scroll down. You can see all these things are fully responsive and mobile-friendly. And what's really cool about these particular sites, and I know I'm going to get ahead of myself, I'm just going to go to GT Metrics right now, and I'm just going to drop that page in. Now, someone's asking, is this a WP theme? No, it's a WordPress plugin, and I'm going to show you what it does in a second. You'll understand. Analyzing the page, and there's the score for this page. 199, 1.1 seconds, 130K load time, 9 requests, and it's not even optimized. There's no optimization, there's no compression, there's no anything.
That's amazing.
And so the reason I can do this is that it's built on the Bootstrap framework. So I'm just going to show and go back here. Let me close out of this. And I actually will view this. Should I show them the source code? Who cares, right?
Oh, sure.
Can you guys see this? This is actually Bootstrap. And so it loads from the Bootstrap CDN. All the code is in here. And that's the entire code. You can see there's a cookie consent notice here. There is footer code here, which actually does domain tracking. And it's a very simple, clean. Obviously, anyone that looked at my discount golf prize can right-click, view source, and seal this.
Right.
So it's not like there's any secret sauce here. But really, the secret sauce is how these pages are created via WordPress. So let me close this out. So I've shown you guys. So is everybody following this so far? We got any comments here? Anybody want to leave a comment? If you're liking it so far?
And what you're looking at is just a plain HTML page. It's not part of WordPress.
Right.
So.
There's nothing. The thing is, WordPress creates the page.
Right.
It doesn't host the page. So you don't have any of the WordPress bloat or any of the any of the downfalls of WordPress because it's HTML. You only have one install, and there's something really cool we're going to show you in a second. But so basically, this is the discount golf products. Once again, this is fully responsive as well. So if I click on inspect and go to responsive mode, and I click on this, that's what it looks like in mobile. Drops down to the two. Depending what you do. I'm going a little bit too far, but all of these pages are fully responsive. So I'm going to go back at it. Oh, and by the way, this is the domain for sale template. So this is a for sale template. You can change what the for sale says. This will load up your domain. You can type any text you want in here. This will automatically link to a contact form, or say you already have the domain listed somewhere else for sale, you can link to that as well. This is a sponsored link box, which you can either add or remove if you want, right? You have footer notice, privacy, contact links. You have the affiliate disclaimer. All this stuff is pre-built in the template. So if you wanted to make a page like this, it would take you 5 seconds to make this page. So someone's asking, there's questions. We'll take a lot of questions on the end, but can they rank? So yes, we'll explain that in a second. So there's lots of questions here. We're kind of just wanting to get feedback if you guys like this so far. So I will get to all those questions at the end. There's a lot of questions, but let's just, once you see how we make these pages, you will grasp the concept more.
Yeah.
So let me go back. And so I think I showed the 4 major templates. There's actually a couple of more templates. There's actually a page right here. If you go to templates, and this will show there's 6 different templates that are on here. And this explains a little bit about it. So it's mydomainstack.com/templates, and you'll get that. So now I'm going to go in and show you the back-end navigation. So this is MetaDomainer. So basically, I'm just going to go to a dashboard. You'd see MetaDomainer on the left-hand side here. This will show all of my domains, right? So these are all different examples. A lot of these are not live sites, they're testing sites, okay? So this is what it looks like, your control panel. So you have all of your different sites here. You can categorize and tag them any way that you want. You can track stats on these pages as well. So you can see full stat tracking, totals and uniques. Right now, there's no way to clear it. It's a total cumulative. There's no monthly or anything like that, but obviously that's stuff that we can add in the future. Now you're going to notice download HTML and download PHP. So this is kind of the secret sauce here. Now there's 3 ways that you can host a domain, right? Maybe there's more. But a lot of people just use domain masking and forwarding. And if you use domain masking and forwarding, then literally you create a site, you go into your registrar, you go to the forwarding options, you paste in the URL, and you mask it to the domain. And when you do that, you instantly have a redirect. So I think one of my templates is bazooka.com, my own. And you can see it just redirects here, for sale, bazooka.com. That's actually a domain forwarded masked from GoDaddy, right? So that's how that works. So it's very simple, just a quick thing. You register a domain name, you forward it right there. So let's just say, for example, I talk about the niche. Maybe you register a lot of domains and you just want to do something quick. You make a predefined landing page without the domain name, like whether it's a link page or whatever, and I register it, okay, let me just forward mask it to here for now, and then boom, you have your parked page set up automatically. But if you take an extra minute, you can go into your domain manager and MetaDomainer, and you can actually create a new domain. So this is the other option. We let you download the HTML or download the PHP and upload it to another domain. So let's say, for example, that you do have a bunch of different WordPress installs and different hosting sites all over the place right now. You can just download a one-page HTML and upload it. So you just basically click on download, and it just downloads the HTML. You click on download PHP, and it's going to download the PHP. Actually, this actually opened up. Are you seeing? You're probably not seeing my Notepad++, are you?
No.
Okay. So I will just show you what it just did. So I'm going to share my. I love Notepad++. It's my favorite program of all time. And let me just go to Notepad++. Where to go? So that PHP file automatically opened for me. But you can see it has PHP echo get file contents, right? Meet the team. So what that means is that if you upload the index PHP to a third-party domain, whether it be on whatever cPanel hosting or whatever hosting you have, if you have cPanel, you do an add-on domain, you just upload this file to the root, and you instantly have a live site. Now, the beautiful thing about this is that if you use the echo file, you can then change the site remotely from your WordPress panel. Does that make sense to people? So basically, you're using WordPress to create and manage these pages. If you use the PHP file, you can remotely change them instantly throughout your entire site network, no matter where the domains are hosted.
So you could have 100 sites out there and control it by one link in your master control panel.
Right.
You can change all the sites instantly.
And I'm going to load up. Oops, didn't mean to do that. 1 second. I'm going to load up the index file here. Let me just do this. So this is the index file that I just loaded, right? So this is the index file. You can upload the index file to any hosting. And from that, it's static, which means that you never have to worry about PHP, you never have to worry about WordPress either. You just upload it, but you'd have to change it manually, okay? So those are the 2 file options that you get. Index PHP means you upload it and you have remote control of it. Index.html means it's static HTML. So you can actually use this for HTML page creation for any third-party site you have, okay? That's kind of how that particular thing works. Someone's asking to show how to do it, but we're not going to get into cPanel and all that stuff and hosting accounts in this webinar. But let me jump back to the screen here. Where is it? I have too many. Do I have multiple screens open? Let me make sure I got the right one. I think it's this one. All right. You seen the Meet the Team thing here, Gene?
Yep.
Okay. So let me go back to the domains here. So what we have here is your dashboard. This is where you see everything. And you can imagine we can add more things in here. We've talked about, I don't want to get into too many features, but we can add a lot more features for domainers on this dashboard, stats, graphs, all kinds of stuff will be down the road, when the domain expires, those kind of things. But for now, I want to show you kind of the settings panel. So when you first install the plugin, there are general settings that are used on all the templates. So for example, the first one you have is copyright notice. So this is my company name. So this will appear by default on all the templates. Okay, you can change this per template as well. This is an affiliate disclaimer. This will appear on all the templates, but you can change it per domain as well. Contact form, same thing. Privacy and terms link, same thing. What we recommend that you do is you create one central contract form. This is going to be one of those things that will disappoint people, but doing remote contact forms in PHP code on multiple sites is not easy, and a lot of times there are issues with cross-domain scripting and also with emails not coming from the same root, same domain. So the safest bet is to have one central contact form you just drive all your visitors to. We'll work on improving that in the future, but for now, you just make a contact form or just a contact page, and here's my email address, contact me. You link to that. Same thing with privacy. You can link all your pages to the same privacy terms, remembering that you do have a custom disclosure per domain if you want. We also have cookie consent notice as well on every single domain. We also have a language file. So if you're in France, you're in Germany, and you want to change the HTML language of the pages, you can do that here. MetaDomainer username, this is something just for the future, but we're going to maybe have a referral tracking program, so you don't have to fill this out now. ClickBank ID, same thing. We're not doing anything with ClickBank yet, but you can imagine that a ClickBank template will not be far behind us. You can change button text, you can change the link text, you can change for sale text. We have a language file. The next thing that we have is the Amazon native ads. So if you're not familiar with Amazon native ads, those are ads that you're seeing on that discount golf template. And I want to load up the Amazon page. This is Amazon's back end, okay? This is one of my Amazon accounts. And these are native shopping ads. And so we're using the search ads. And to do that, you would just go in, you get a tracking ID, you do the grid, you type in a default search term. So maybe it is watches, like this. And the second that you do watches, it will load up all this code. So we're basically using this code from Amazon to create those pre-done things. Now you don't have to do this every time, but you do want to create your own tracking ID, right? And you want to get your niche keyword. So what we do is we use this information to create those pages so you don't have to. But you do need to get a tracking ID. So the first thing you would do when you install this, once again, you're setting this up one time. This stuff is set up one time. You would add a tracking ID, you'd add a link ID so you can track the stats to your domain network, and you add a main keyword phrase. So I use golf. Maybe most of your sites are in the gardening niche. You would type in gardening, those kind of things. You don't have to mess with any of this other stuff. For custom functions, we also have ad codes for network ads. So say you want to add a hosting affiliate banner on every single page in your entire site network, on every single domain instantly. You can add that code here. You could also add AdSense, but I would warn you that adding AdSense, you never know with certain sites, AdSense might not work on it. But this code will appear inside or on the template of every page that you put it on. You can also disable it per page. This is header code, so if you want to do tracking pixels or Facebook pixels or anything, you can add it site-wide here. Same with custom CSS. If you want to change the master look of all the templates instantly, you can change the custom CSS here. And this is footer code. You can change the footer code, add a tracking pixel, whatever you want to do on the entire site, okay? So let me just go into add a domain and we'll get started. So Gene, pick a domain. Say you just registered a domain. What domain did you just register?
Oh, let's say...
Put you on the spot. You can make one up, of course.
Screaming Yellow Zonkers.
Okay. I'm just gonna do screamingmonkey.com or something.
Okay.
So let's just say you just registered screamingmonkey.com. Now, we want you to use the actual domain name like this in the title for a number of reasons, but this is, it just makes it easier. And so these are the different templates. So this is the Amazon ad page template. So if I select that, you'll see it has tracking ID. It shows you my default, and it has this. It has a search phrase and so forth. So the search phrase I might want to do is monkeys, right? I'm just going to do monkey instead. We also have a custom meta title and a custom meta description. So I could say, get your screaming monkey here, which is funny because I actually used to have flying monkeys. Remember flying monkeys? Maybe I should make it flying monkey. But I'll do that. And meta description, you can do it. This is your new SEO description. Now, I don't have to do anything else. I can just click on, I'll just check this as an Amazon ad. I can just click on publish. And I click on publish, and I open this in a new window, and there are my monkeys. There's my monkey affiliate pages, right? Now, it didn't add anything in here because I didn't add a title in. But if I wanted to, I could add in a short code, domain title, and I'm actually just going to make that H2. I'm going to click on update. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to reload. And now it says screamingmonkey.com, right? So you can add in any text you want and add a description. So I could just say, this site sells the best toy monkeys. Click on update, reload, and this site sells the best toy monkeys. So you can do all kinds of different things with this just using the WordPress post editor, but the page itself is built on HTML. Okay, there are the ads, there's the H2, there's the P tag. So anyone who's obviously, we're most domainers that buy and sell domains, they know a lot about HTML and CSS and so forth. And so we're kind of counting on that, but we're going to have tutorials to explain more of this. But the basic idea is that you can make pages really quickly. So I'm going to go back here, and let's just say I decided I want to sell this domain. I just click the domain for sale template. I click on update. I reload. And now it says for sale, screamingmonkey.com. This site sells the best toy monkeys, right? So you know what? I want to sell it, but I also kind of want to monetize it. So how can I monetize this? Well, you can make a custom menu. And for this example, I'm going to choose this link. I'm going to click on update. I'm going to reload. And now I have sponsored links in here. Okay? So basically this for sale. So someone's asked a question, and it's actually a good question. So they're saying, would a site visitor see it as screamingmonkey.com, your main site.com? No. So what we do in our documentation is you are creating the web page, the file. There are three ways, and I did kind of cover this. There are three ways. You can use domain masking and forwarding from your registrar to automatically show this site at screamingmonkey.com. So that's a 5-second, I shouldn't say 5 second, that's a 30-second process. In your registrar, you go into your DNS forwarding, type in the path, which would be my, this is my test install, okay? My domain stack is my hosted solution, my own personal one. It's not for you to use. You would make your own domain, your own WordPress install the plugin, and then you get a path just like this at yourdomainstack.com/domain/screamingmonkey. So you either can use domain forwarding and masking to automatically redirect to this page, in which case you're not necessarily going to get indexed by Google because Google is not a big fan of domain forwarding and masking. But that's one instant solution. Now, most park pages and stuff are, forwarded domains, right? So it's the same thing as like a park page system. However,
park pages do not get indexed.
Yeah, they don't get indexed. So if you don't want to get indexed, but you want a quick solution, then you would use domain forwarding and masking. What we expect most people to do is, depending on your hosting account, most hosting accounts these days have add-on domains, unlimited add-on domains. So we'll have tutorials on this. Your hosting company already has tutorials on this, but in about 60 seconds, you can log into your hosting account. You can make an add-on domain for screamingmonkey.com. Once you do that, you basically go into File Manager and you would upload a file, either the HTML or the PHP, to that Screaming Monkey directory, and then your site would be live. So you register a domain name, you point it to the DNS of your web host, and then when you make an add-on domain, you simply upload a file and you're done. Now this process, like I said, for me, it would take under a minute to make a page, make an add-on domain, and upload the file. So for someone else, there'll be a learning curve if you've never done that before, but once you get going, it's a very easy thing to do. Right, Gene? Would you agree?
Oh, it's simple. It really is.
It's a very simple thing to do. And so we're not necessarily here to show you all that, but obviously we'll have tutorial videos on how to do that. But your web host already has tutorial videos because it's a very common practice to make an add-on domain, upload the file, and you're done. But the big thing is most people buy a domain and then they install WordPress and they install a bunch of plugins, they do all this other stuff, and then they never take the time to add content on it. Next thing you know, you get WordPress installs all over the place that are using up your resources and are insecure and risky and all that kind of stuff. So let me just go a couple more things here. So, geez, we're already 37 minutes in, Gene. So we have meta redirect. So maybe you have this domain and all of a sudden someone says, hey, I would love it if you redirect screamingmonkey.com to my monkey website. You say, sure, I'll do that for you. And so you can put in your redirect URL and refresh seconds, and it'll automatically redirect to the domain of your choice. Now, we have clean slate template. Maybe you're someone that just likes using the WordPress post editor and you want to write, a letter or have a quick little sales page or something for this. I can click on update, go back here, reload, and this is a clean slate template. Okay? So that means that you can type in any text you want. Now, the really cool thing about this, which I don't know if I want to get into in this webinar, is that, like I said, this uses Bootstrap 4, which is one of the most popular web page frameworks on the web. There are thousands and thousands of tutorials out there on how to use Bootstrap to give you sample codes, and any Bootstrap sample code will work in here. But our goal is to make that easier for you with drop-in snippets of code, right? So we have a drop-in editor. I'm going to show you something else really cool in a second. But essentially, we're going to keep improving this menu. I even told Gene this, but my envision this menu. You click it, it pops a pop-up window. You kind of type in what you're looking to get or what kind of niche you want, and it's going to pre-fill a design for you in that will work in different templates. So yeah, and Bootstrap is super fast, as someone just pointed out. So there's clean slate. This is the links menu. So if I go in here and click on update and reload, this is the links menu. Okay. Now I can change anything I want. So if I, just as a quick example, if I go into WordPress, I'm going to actually open this in a new tab here. I go to menus. I'm going to create a new menu called monkey. Right? Create menu. And I'm just going to go in custom links, and I'm just going to say monkeyproducts.com is where I want to, maybe I have an affiliate link there. So I could type in monkey products. Click on add to menu. Now, we also have descriptions. So you could say this is the best monkey product site. I'm going to click on save menu. Now I'm going to go back here. I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to change the custom menu to monkey. And I'm going to click on update. I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to reload, and now it has monkey products. So once again, this is an HTML page loading content that you built on WordPress. That's kind of like what's really unique about this. I don't know anybody that's really done this before.
And this links page is very similar to most of the other products pages you see out there.
Right.
Except you control everything and you don't have to share the revenue with the parking company.
Correct. And so the other thing is you go in here, and if I want to do a brand, I could just type in monkey products. By the way, you notice custom CSS. If I want to change anything about this particular page design, colors, and those kind of things, I can do that as well. So this is monkey products. So if I want to increase the size, it's all just custom CSS. It's also links to the contact form. So if you want to link to a contact form, you just click this, and then someone can contact you. There's no page on there. And someone can do it to buy the domain, right? So that is how that particular thing works. Someone's mentioning WP static. I think that is more to export sites and stuff, but this is actually just live, viewing the page live and changing it live. The next thing, I almost hesitate to go into this If you're an advanced user, that's why I put advanced, because this might be intimidating to some people, but this is what's really, really cool. So I'm going to click on small business template. Now I'm going to just get rid of this, and I'm going to click on update. I'm going to go back to the Screaming Monkey page. I'm going to reload it. You can see it says monkey products and monkey products, okay? And then it has this and that. Now, it says monkey products because I put that menu there. So the first thing I'm going to do is go back and say, I don't want that. I want the default menu. Now, the default menu is about services and contact, okay? And these are all jump links. So you guys know about the benefits of having a jump link page, one page where it jumps to different sections of the content. Well, the perfect example of this, and it should blow people away. Maybe I've been around it too long, but if you go in here and type in the small business template, it drops in a bunch. I must have an H2 in there. Hold on a second. Let me clean this out. You go in here and type in small biz, okay? It just dumps this whole bunch of pre-done content here. So I could type in Screaming Monkey GIFs, right? I'm going to click on update. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to reload. There's a full page, Screaming Monkey GIFs. If I click on services, it jumps to services. If I click on contact, it jumps to contact, okay? If you want to change anything about this particular page, maybe you just want to have, I didn't even spell Screaming right. If you go in here and just say, and once again, it's advanced stuff, but you don't have to have these different sections, so maybe I don't want to have the contact form. So I can just go in here and delete that particular shortcode. Oh, a little too far. A little too far. And delete that shortcode, click on update, go back here, reload, and then the contact is gone, okay? Now, you can control this menu. This is just a menu. So if you want to make your own navigation menu, you can do that and change the menu in WordPress, okay? So the thing to remember is this is just one example, and I should do, maybe I should do, let's try something. I don't know if I want to, I'm not going to mess with the, I want to show you something with the, you notice how there's no image here. Some people like a background image, right? Well, yes, I really wish I had a background image that had Screaming Monkeys. Well, I'm not going to go searching for a Screaming Monkey image. But what I am going to do is I'm going to look in my media folder here, and I have these different images, different graphics, right? So maybe I'm just going to grab, I'll grab this as kind of a funky image. I'm going to take this image, I'm going to copy the link. Okay, this is not about inserting featured images in WordPress. I'm going to scroll down, I'm going to paste in the masthead image. I'm going to click on update, I'm going to go back here and reload, and now I have an image background. So I am not a fan of page builders. I mean, I think they're great, but they tend to really slow down a website. I like shortcode stuff. In fact, my Socrates team is built on shortcode stuff. But you can imagine how we can provide pre-done shortcode templates for you, where you just drop them in and you change the text and you have a website live.
Now think about this. If you register a local domain, business domain, you know, for a particular area, and let's say, you know, Boston Plumbers or something like that, you create this page in about 30 seconds or a minute, and you can put an individual company's name there and put in their, you know, some of the copy from their website on this, and you have an instant page to show them to say, hey, you want to buy this domain, it's perfect for your company.
Right. So I'm going to do Boston Plumbers, right? You change in some text. Go down here. Actually, I have a, let's just change the background image. I've got like a tool.
There you go.
This one here. Grab this image here, drop it in the background image, click on update, go back to the page, reload, and now I have Boston Plumbers and I have this guy with a little drill bit in the background, right? So that, and once again, it's all navigation. So people would think that you spent, you know, $500 on this website, but it's really just made, and it still says monkey products, but you guys get the idea. So is everybody getting the idea here? So once you build out your site, so let's just say that you had 100 domains that you're not doing anything with today, all right? How long would it take you to go in, type in the name, grab a link, and forward them all, right? Maybe 2 hours to do all of it, and you instantly have all your sites managed in one central location. If you're using domain forwarding and masking, you can change them live on the fly. So that's what's really cool. So we're excited by the fact that you now have the ability to have a quick snapshot of all your domains. If you want to look, like if I click on Amazon ads, this will show me all the domains that I have that have Amazon ads on them, right? This will show me all the domains that are for sale because I've tagged and categorized them, right? So you can make your own tags. In fact, we preload the site with these different categories, and we also preload the site with tags like .com, .info, .net, .org, 5-letter, 6-letter, 7-letter, established, GoDaddy, HTML, Namecheap, name silo. So if you do this, you can organize all of your domains by the registrar, by the number of letters. It's up to you to how you want to organize them. But once you do, you can then do a quick snapshot of all the things that you have for sale. And Gene, should I tell them? I don't know if I should show you the portfolio template.
Absolutely.
Right? So we have a portfolio template. So if I go into
my favorite parts.
Yeah, so portfolio demos, right? So we give you short code so you can list your domains for sale on a WordPress page, right? So you can just list these domains and it will show everything here. So this is actually the category ID for my for sale is 32. So I grabbed that. You can show all of your domains. You can show them per category. You can show them by a number of different options. You can show the amount. You can show them by tag. You can show ascending, descending. You can do all kinds of things. All of these link to the unique make offer and buy now page for this. So you can instantly show all your domains. So there's the table view. There's also a listing view of the default style. So you have the domain name, then you have the description, and so forth. So there's more we can do with this. There's pagination here as well. So you click on that, it goes to the next page of listings. But Gene was the first one to point out to me, well, geez, I want to use this on an actual template. I said, well, geez, I hadn't thought about people doing that. But if you actually go in and make a new page, you can go into Domainer, add domain, and you can just say my portfolio. I'm not saying you should do this, but I like people using it on WordPress for this. But if I just go in here and type this, I got to put the little short codes in like that and like that. And I'm just going to choose the clean slate template, click on publish, and I'll view it. And there's my portfolio built on Bootstrap right there on a page.
So guys, all your domains that you have laying around doing nothing, you put them in a portfolio like this, and that you now have a storefront to sell your domains from.
Yep. And the other thing is that we actually have RSS feeds. So that's a whole nother, this isn't actually fully live yet, but just imagine what we can do with RSS feeds for your domains that are for sale. So that's just something for the future I'll tease you with here. Okay, I got a first person that's raising a hand. I don't know how to deal with raising.
From somebody that asked, can we use this? Can we create our own templates to put into this? Absolutely. Yeah. You have a blank slate feature here that you can put anything you want into, and you can save it for as many sites as you want. So it's totally flexible. You can add whatever you want to it.
Yeah. So, and I'll be clear on what Gene's saying. There's a couple of things. Obviously, that's not in it on day one, but we will have the ability to import templates. But you can make your own shortcode stuff and just copy and save it to Notepad and paste it in. But for eventually, you'll be able to. If you're really savvy, you can go in and edit these templates, but they'll get overwritten on the next plugin update. But we will have a way to do that in the future. And I want to be really clear too, is that neither myself or my plugin developer is a super fancy UX guy. We like the core WordPress features and stuff. But needless to say, there's lots of things you can do to make this nicer looking, and we probably will slowly integrate changes to make this easier to use and nicer. But for now, all of this stuff, you're going to see that we have tooltips, which explain what every field is for. So per template, you can go in here and you can change any value. All these values are per template, right? So this is per template, tracking ID. This is the SEO per template. This is the redirect code, custom codes, header codes, custom CSS. So what we've tried to do is we've tried to think of everything that you would ever need to do to make web page designs that are unique to you as well. By changing stuff. So you can even change the body CSS class if you're an HTML guy, which is really cool. So Gene, I'm going to, let's see, we have a lot of questions here. So let me go through. Gene, can you see questions too, or webinar chat as a
Yep, I can see them.
Okay. So let me just go and scroll up here. I'm going to scroll to the top here. Let me just see if I can hit all the questions here. Scroll down. So I think, Matthew, I think you answered your question. Someone said, if you leave contact info on a plumbing page, for example, you're not a plumber, how does that work? It's just an example of selling a domain. Gene will tell you in his domaining courses that if you want to try to sell domains, it's best just to, you could just create a localized thing and then send it to a bunch of plumbers saying, hey, I have this plumbing site, just an example. So it's just placeholder content you could do to help sell a domain. Right. Someone's asking, can they rank? They'll rank if you use the HTML or the PHP version, but they won't rank if you use domain masking and forwarding. But like anything, to rank in Google requires text and usually backlinks. So if you just make a quick landing page, it's probably not going to rank unless you add 300 words of text and so forth. But this is true of all park page systems. So park page systems typically don't rank. At least with our system, you have a chance to rank by adding your own content. So that's really what's better. So far superior to any park page system because you can actually add content to help it rank. Right.
A park page is de-indexed by Google. They just don't want to show those because
right.
That doesn't help people that search. But these pages are custom created every time. So you can add as much or as little content as you want. And of course, the more content you add, the more it'll rank, the easier it'll rank.
Right. So someone says, okay, asking about echo and control editing. Yeah, so we don't want to overwhelm people, but just suffice to say that you need to learn. If you want to be a domainer, you have to learn how to use FTP. You have to know basic HTML. This is as basic as it gets. So we give you the file to upload. So all you have to do is ask your web host, how do I upload a file? And they all have tutorials on how to do it as well, and we'll have tutorials on how to do it as well. But essentially, it's just going to a file manager, uploading a file, and you're done. So someone's asking, would this plugin be perfect for domainers who have a large quantity of domains? That's exactly why we built it, and for newbies as well. Is anyone selling domains regardless of volume or experience? A lot of us sell domains all the time. Gene probably sells them every day or every week.
Yeah.
I had my best domain sale ever last year. I'm not even going to talk about it. But yeah, I actually don't actively sell domains, and we're not saying that this is a way for you to. We're not saying that you put all these domains on, you're going to magically sell your domain. This is a way for you to create pages that when someone lands on that page, I mean, a lot of times when people are looking for a domain to buy, they're typing in the name, right? I really want this domain, and then they see someone owns it, and instead of seeing a blank dead page that does nothing, if they see this domain's for sale, contact me, then obviously that's the best way to sell a domain. So let me go and go back here. Let's see, Bootstrap is super fast loading. Yes, it is. If you decide to fully build out the site later on, can you just delete the original code and go from there? Absolutely. So that's a really good question because a lot of people just don't, how many, I guess if we ask people to raise their hands, how many of you had bought a domain and said, oh, I'm going to build a website on that? And you never do. Probably tons of you. We're getting tons of raised hands because we all say that. We buy it, oh, I'm going to put a website on that next week. And then a year later, the renewal fee comes up. Oh, I never did anything with that. What we want to do is we want to get people to actually just take a minute to make a web page, and then you can build it out later. But at least, and this is what I love most about this thing, this is what I get excited about. When you buy a domain, you really never know how much traffic it's getting, right? So you bought the domain and it's sitting there parked in GoDaddy or Namecheap, and you have no idea how much traffic it's getting. For all you know, it could be getting 100 visitors a month, right? Well, if you install and do a forward or add the code, then you're going to know within a day how much traffic it's getting because we have stats, right? And so no one else has, very few people have stats. I guess some park page systems have stats. Okay, let me scroll down a little bit more. It's better to keep your domain. Isn't it better to just keep your domains laying around until they lapse or need to be renewed? I think that's a joke.
Yeah.
I'm a bit confused about PHP being able to change remotely. Wouldn't they all have to be the same? No. So, hey, it's Kathy. Hey, Kathy, how you doing? By the way, Kathy, I'm going to be in Colorado in a few weeks. I'm going to Joel's event. So I shared, the PHP echo file that you saw before, that echoes a remote location. PHP remote echoes is a very popular way of doing it. It's like echo PHP is what PHP was kind of, I shouldn't say designed for, but Echoing PHP is a very common practice. You see it, it's like better than an iframe in a way. You know iframes. But the idea is that you're remote loading the page. Now those get indexed. Google sees those, to my knowledge and from my experience and from my research. Google indexes those pages because the PHP file loads on the domain. And so the content is actually on the domain. You're remote loading the content, but it's actually on the domain and on the live HTML page. So that's kind of it. So Helen's saying I have to learn more CSS HTML. Yeah, well, yeah, but this is the best way to learn. So anyhow, it's really cool. So Steve's saying I'm weird like you and dang, it's nerdy, haha. Still blowing. Can I also upload via cPanel? Hey, Willie. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, you know, the one thing I will mention, and this is tragic, is I'm a big fan of cPanel because I've used it for so long. But they're just, you know, a lot of web hosts are getting rid of cPanel because cPanel has raised its licensing fees. So that is kind of a big deal. So you have to check your web host. cPanel is certainly easy, but a lot of them are going to their own systems for doing add-on domains. Okay, let's see. We've got more questions here, and then we'll get to, someone's asking how much is it, and we'll show you how to get it very soon. So let's see, Gene, I don't know if you can see the Q&A. We'll be able to add your new VSL into the pages via MetaDomainer. Gene?
Yeah, I'm looking at that now. You mean to include your own VSL video?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. You just all you have to do is have the video stored somewhere, either in your WordPress installation or on a, you know, you could be YouTube or any other video hosting site, and just copy the code into your page. Yeah,
and so, and you know, we should mention with a clean slate, you can use this for any landing page that you want. And obviously, we're going to have pre-done templates for that. But if you want to drop a video in with an order button, that takes 2 seconds too. So it's very easy to do.
Yep.
Someone's saying I have FT. I'm familiar with FT. Yeah, it's a different system because we're self-hosted. You actually are in full control of your sites. So that's what's different. Yes, videos can be added. So do you have to set up Google Analytics or Tag Manager to see stats? No, it's built into the template. So we actually use a stats program that is, if you're familiar with WordPress stat programs, we use basically the same code. So basically the code, it just gets added into our templates by default. Oh, I should mention too, you can disable it. So if you go into, oops, let me scroll down a little bit here. If you go into general settings for any template, you can go down here and you can disable the counter, you can disable the cookie consent, you can disable the network ad, and we have Bootstrap JavaScript, Bootstrap min JavaScript file loaded on every template, but it's disabled by default because most people won't use it. But if you're Bootstrap Pro, you want to use Bootstrap JS, just enable it here. So you can do all this stuff and disable these things and disable the stats. You can add your own Google Analytics using the custom code. So if you want to add unique Google Analytics for every domain that you have, you just drop it in here and you'll be able to do that. So contact forms, please explain having a contact form in each domain. That's exactly what I was not recommending. So if you have a contact form plugin on your WordPress install, just link to that contact page. So, oh, and someone's asking a very good question, which I needed to address too. So please explain having a contact form in each domain, and what contact form plugin do you recommend? So yes, you would have a contact form, one contact form. And so you have one contact page on your main WordPress install. You link everybody to that to contact you. And it's not ideal, but if someone wants to buy your domain, they're going to fill out the contact form, okay? And regardless whether your domain is there.
Now, that being said, you can also include individual contact forms on each page if you wanted to do that. So if you had to have a contact form specifically for a certain purpose, you can put in your code for that contact form. It doesn't have to be the universal contact form, but
right.
we use the universal form to make it easy for all your pages.
Yeah, so if you're using different web hosts and redirecting stuff, cross-domain email is a difficult thing. So, you know, when you see parked pages that have these contact forms, most of that mail is being processed by the parked page service. It's not being sent from your domain. But when you try to send a domain from someone that doesn't have a valid domain signature, then it's going to get filtered. You might not get it. So to make it easy for everyone, we just say redirect to a contact form. You know, it's the best solution. Now, this is the big question which I need to cover. Obviously, it's in our documentation as well. You're going to notice that this domain is not secure. I am not on SSL, and there is a very particular reason for that, and that is that when you have a domain name, every domain name has to have its own SSL certificate if you want to use SSL. Now, because of that, you can, if you have a domain that's on SSL, you can use our pages, but you can't use the PHP files because they'll try to call a secure file. So long story short, best practice is not to put your main domain on SSL. Once again, you don't want your main domain necessarily ranked anyhow. And so we would recommend that you just keep your sites not secure. And by the way, the SSL is really only for content. It is for contact forms and for shopping. But long story short, you're going to have problems with remote PHP calls to a secure. In other words, if you trying to call https://domainstack.com from a remote site, and that site is not SSL, then that file is not going to load. So long story short, keep your sites not SSL or upload full HTML files. I hope that makes sense. I know it's confusing. There'll be more to it. Fantastic, but with the likes of Flippa, accept those stats as genuine. I don't know. I think that you could prove it. If you have a problem with that, obviously you can add Google Analytics to it. So if you're selling on Google Analytics, if you're selling on Flippa, you can take a minute to add the site on Google Analytics and just drop in some analytics code. Good question. Can you use WP plugins with it as well? No. So you can't use other WP plugins because we're not calling those files. So there will be some instances where it might work depending on what you're trying to do. But if you look at the source code, there's nothing from WordPress in here. There's nothing to indicate that these pages are WordPress at all. And that's part of the reason why they're so super fast loading. So if you let us know why you're using a WordPress plugin, for what purpose, then we'd probably integrate that into our plugin, so you wouldn't have to use a third-party WordPress plugin. So we just need to know why you want to use it, and then maybe that'd be a good feature for our plugin. So, so say if they use the buy button, would it go to contact or processor? That's totally up to you. You control where the buy button goes. So if you've got your domains listed on Sea-Doo, for example, or Flippa, then you just link to that. All right, Gene, I think I answered most of the questions here. Ken's mentioning JotForm. Yeah, that's a good solution. All right, so Gene, do we want to talk about the deal that we've got? Do you want to take that away?
Yeah, I suppose we can do that now, unless there are any other questions before we do that. But I think everybody's waiting to hear what this super deal is going to be.
Yeah.
Well, it's under $1,000. You know, I'm not even going to mess around with this. This is, you know, we wanted to get this out in as many hands as we could. It's $37 for a whole year's license to use this entire system. We will be adding features and other benefits and things that we can, you know, the price will increase later. Right now, we want to get this in as many hands as possible. So for $37 for a full year, you get everything you just saw described.
Yeah, and I want to be clear. We don't want to get it in as many hands as possible. We want to get it into our attendees and customers' hands, but we don't really want you sharing this link. So
exactly. Yeah. You know, we want to get it in as many hands as possible that we show it to, but not to the whole world.
So do not share this link with us. So we ask you do not share this link, basically.
Right. So, you know, just go to metadomainer.com/buy and you'll find the buy button there. It's a simple order button, and you'll be in no time.
Yeah. So the one thing that's important to note on this is that we do have big plans on this, and you'll see, you know, this isn't like a JVZoo or Warrior Plus product where it's, you know, fly by night. They're gonna sell 1,000 copies or 2,000 copies, and the next week they're working on another project. You know, if you're one of my Socrates customers, you know that I'm going on 9 years with Socrates. Still sells every day. It was a one-time fee because I like that model. But with this one, we're going to have lots of development. There's going to be lots of new features, lots of templates. So it is an annual license. There'll be lots of support. There's lots to do. So it will be an annual license. But it's important to note that if you're using this plugin and you love it, the annual license fee is going to be great. But also, none of your domains will be affected, so that if you actually do not renew, all your sites will still work just fine, but you won't be able to edit them or add new ones. So that basically the license will stop you from doing that. You just need to renew the license if you want to keep using the plugin after that. But
and by the way, it's not an auto
Not an auto renew.
It's not an auto renewal. You know, when after a year
knows.
passes, you'll get a notice saying, hey, do you want to continue? If you do, then you go ahead and order another year.
Yeah, and I also want to be clear. We built this for domainers, for buyers and sellers domainer, or people that have a lot of domains. If you only have a few domains, this product is not for you. So there's no reason to buy it. If you think you only have a few domains, then you don't need this domain. You don't need this plugin. Would you agree, Gene?
You know, unless you really wanted to start getting into it, you may not have domains now, but if your plan is to, you know, become a domainer, or if you want to mess around with testing different types of pages, you know, fine. But you don't have to use this if you don't have many, you know, if you don't have a lot of inventory to sell.
Yeah. So we want to be clear about that. So let's see if we got any more questions here. Does the beta account automatically convert to a paid account once purchased? So Steve was one of our beta testers. He's asking a question about the convert. Steve, just what we're going to do is just, if you want to purchase it, you'll get the deal, and we'll figure out an extension for your beta time as well. So it doesn't automatically convert. We're kind of using the same license code, so you'll be good. Matthew's asking if there are known plugin conflicts with this. I have one. You know, that's as a theme and plugin developer, I get that question all the time. If anyone tells me about a plugin conflict, it will be fixed the next day. We have not heard any, but I can assure you that after 9 years of doing this stuff, if I find a plugin conflict, I will not rest until it is resolved. But there shouldn't be a plugin conflict, because what you're going to do is you're going to create a new domain to manage this stuff. So you shouldn't be using other plugins with this, because you should have a unique domain WordPress install to manage it. But that being said, I didn't even mention something else that's really cool. So we use SiteGround for our web hosting. And if you use their compression tools, their HTML file compression tools, it actually compresses all the files as well, which is pretty cool. So you can use HTML compression via a plugin. It'll compress the pages also. So Christine's asking about hosting. So, you know, we recommend that you get your own hosting account. We are, you know, I can go in here and it's actually, you know, we recommend HTTPS MetaDomainer.com/SiteGround is our recommended web host. Nice if I could type. So MetaDomainer.com/SiteGround. That's our recommended web host. You can get a GrowBig account for like $70 a year, $5 a month, $6 a month. We assume most people already have their own web hosting. If you have add-on domains, you want to look for a domain hosting account that allows add-on domains. And so you don't need to spend more than $10 a month for hosting, but the best hosting accounts are not the $3.99 hosting accounts. So you want to spend between $6 and $10 a month minimum on a domain hosting account. Okay, so let's see. I've got more questions here. Gene, I think we're getting more people are showing up on the webinar now.
Yeah.
How would you use this for local domains? So, I mean, we just talked about with the Boston Plumbers. So, you know, basically you could use a small biz template and just make a localized domain. So you just type in the name of the business and type in some information. So this was the, do I have this is mydomainstack.com/templates, where I had some examples. This is the small business template here. So you can see business name or tagline. You can add in some information and so forth.
And remember, you can add as much as or a little as you want to this page, graphics, you know, information.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want with it. So, you know, we want to let you know this is still an introductory thing. You know, we're not ready for full launch with this. We're going to keep improving this plugin on a regular basis. You get automatic updates in the back end as well. So there's lots we can do with this. There'll be a lot more templates you can pop in. But we really, if you just forget everything we showed you, except for the for sale template, it would be worth $37.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and then when you look at the things you can do with the links menu template, it would be worth $37 with just one template. I would buy this in a heartbeat because you can instantly monetize. Not to mention, you know, you can promote anything you want in here and create your own links, right? Yeah. So, by the way, I linked to Jarene's domaining courses. This is my Socrates WordPress theme. You know, this is actually linked to us. This is our web hosting. So, depending on your niches, if you just go out and research, you know, if you go to ClickBank and you just find 5 or 10 affiliate programs and make a link menu and drop that on all your park pages, then who knows how long that will last. So since it's personal use license, when you sell domain, the page goes away. Yeah, I assume that, if you, we're gonna get into that. There'll be a different license for that. For now, for the initial license is $37. If you sell a domain, most people are gonna want to make their own domain, unless you made a really fancy small biz template. But we'll have an option for that that'll be extremely reasonable in the future. So we want to get people to the point where they realize that there are some things you can do with this, like you can actually make pages for existing businesses and charge them a hosting fee yourself. If anyone hasn't thought about that yet, trust me, we have thought about the fact that you could make a small business template and you could just say to a business, hey, if you want to buy it, you can rent it from me for $9.95 a month, right?
Yep.
And so think about that and what you could do with that, making local business domains, and just say, hey, this site's ready to go for you. If you want if you want to have it, your business information here, just pay me $9.95 a month. They don't have to worry about hosting. They don't have to worry about WordPress installs. They don't have to worry about anything. You're just making their site for them, and it took you 5 minutes to make the website, and you make it $9.95 a month. Someone's asking how long the intro price will be available. Gene and I were discussing that before. We're only kind of doing this for our customers, this kind of price. There'll be different pricing options available. That link will be up for at least a few days. Let's put it that way. We may change the link, we may do it, but just let us know if you want to buy it. Someone's asking, do we presently have set up training videos available for visual learners? At the moment, we have videos that we've done with demos. That's kind of my project for the next week. We have a YouTube channel. We have a documentation page that has a link to our YouTube channel. I will be making videos on every aspect of this within the next week and uploading them. And let's see here. Is this a limited time off? I think I just answered that. Will you have an affiliate program at some point once it actually launches? Yes and no. It's going to be we're not sure of the details. Obviously, we want to launch it with an affiliate program, but we don't want to do the typical kind of affiliate system. So we're working on some really unique things. And Gene, I don't know if you want to talk about what we can do with a referral system in the future, but long story short, yes, but it won't be for everybody. Does that fair answer, Gene?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't sorted out all the details about that. So we just don't want it to be, mass sold by every affiliate there is. We want only, quality people promoting it. So we're working that out.
Someone's asking about 8-year host.
Yep, I'm working on that. I haven't tested this system on that, but I will be.
Yep. And then there's I have a few local business related domains. Can it be redirected to local business, the renting method? Sure. Yeah, I mean, that's why I created that. That's why we have that redirect template. So if you go in here and if you did it and someone says, I just want to, I've got too many screens that are blocking my view here. You can go in here, template, choose meta redirect, and just redirect. By the way, I should mention, we have a mixed bag of people on here. We have advanced users and beginner users. If you're an advanced user, this is just a basic HTML redirect. It's not a PHP 301 redirect. So that enables you to actually redirect something. And so let's just say I do 5 seconds. Let's say I'm going to redirect this to google.com in 5 seconds. And I go up here. I need to close out some of these windows. And I go up here, and I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm just going to say, oh, come on, this page, oh my God, will redirect in 5 seconds, right? So if I did this, now you can imagine maybe you're an affiliate promoter, or maybe you want to have a quick intro, like a 30-second affiliate thing, and then redirect to some affiliate link, right? You can do that. But I click on update, go here, and it says this page will redirect in 5 seconds. So now you can imagine you have some offer, right? And then boom, it redirects to Google. So that's how that works. So by having the meta refresh, it enables you to actually put a message or sales offer before you redirect someone to the actual page.
But it could also be instant.
And if you just want to do 0, like that, click on update, and click on this, and it is going to be, come on, instant redirect, or redirect like in less than 0 seconds. So that's how that works. I think we've covered just about everything. I shouldn't say that. We've covered what we wanted to cover.
Yeah. I mean, we have some awesome features that are in the works that you're just not going to believe. And of course, you'll get it as part of this. So,
yeah. So that is, I think that is it. We have a Facebook page. We have we currently have a private Facebook group, which you'll be able to get access to, but it's not currently for just the buyers. But we have a support page with questions. We'll have more videos. We know that people are going to have a lot of questions. I would just encourage you to view our documentation. So if you actually go into the dashboard right now, there's some basic information here, and there's a documentation page which goes here. And this is the full Google Doc. Should I show them the Google Doc?
Yeah.
So if you click on the Google Doc, this is the work in progress, which I'm constantly editing. So it's built on a Google Doc. That means you can click and go to different sections. So this tells you about the Amazon ad template, for sale template, the short codes, the FAQ, all this stuff is here. And so the reason that it's on Google Docs is so that Gene and I can both edit it live constantly. And once it gets done, we'll put it on the website. But the Google Doc will answer lots of your questions. And so I will continue to do that. And I'm always a big fan of, I like to say I have probably answered more support tickets than anybody online. So I am well-versed after 22 years of selling products and stuff online and having membership sites with tens of thousands of people. I've answered probably 1 million support tickets. So I'm a big fan of adding as much training, tutorial, as possible. If you go to my Socrates Theme YouTube channel, you'll see I have dozens and dozens of videos because it dramatically reduces my support. Kind of the master of the support.
Right.
I should share my video, but that's another day. I made that video, Gene, that generic video for tech support.
Yep.
Okay, so I think we're good to just about wrap up here. Let's see if there are any other questions. So this, once again, this will be recorded. We'll see how it all works out. The offer is good for, let's just say, a minimum of 3 days. We'll probably do another webinar within the next week or so. And we'll keep tweaking and improving and adding more tutorials. And just know that this is just the beginning. We'll improve the UX, the user interface, the user design, the tutorials, the training. This is a long-term project for us. So I have nothing else on my product development list, which is really rare.
And this whole system is based on what we use as domainers every day and things that we need in our businesses. So you can be assured that this is exactly what will help you sell domains, because it gives you the tools to present your domains. It doesn't sell your domains for you, but it gives you the tools to create instant pages. You know, when you're registering a few domains a day or a few domains a week, you want to pop up a quick page, there it is, bang, bang. You know, you don't have to wait and say, someday I'll put a site on that.
Yep. Yeah, and it's like if you meet somebody that wants a website, well, once again, this will be a different license, but if you meet someone that wants a website, I was talking to my barber the other day, he has a website, and I said, well, I can make you one, just, pay me $5 a month. I told him $5 a month. If he wants to go, oh, I'll consider that. And if he did, I could take 5 minutes and make him a website, redirect it, and I'm making $5 a month, basically no work. And he's never going to change it because he's a barbershop. He's got hours and a picture.
Yeah, well, a lot of businesses just need a basic, business card type site that gives their basic information.
That's really what they're looking for. Okay, Gene, I think we're good. I think that I think we've got all the questions. Rick is a quick question. Rick said, why not build a Socrates domainer theme? There probably will be a domainer. If actually, I think domainer theme actually redirects to Socrates at the moment. I'm not sure if I changed it or not. But we actually do own domainertheme.com. I own domainerplugin.com. There probably will be a domainer theme that will be built in as a bonus. But let's just say, for example, that there are going to be, I can't get into the secrets. But basically, MetaDomainer is built on Speaker Theme, which if you're a Socrates customer, you get Speaker Theme. So if you're not a Socrates customer, it's socratestheme.com. And I tell you what, if you're a MetaDomainer customer, I will give you a coupon as well to get it. So just let me know. So Gene, I think we can wrap up, and we're good.
Yeah, I was just laughing at one of Willie's comments. He says, I'd trade the barber for free haircuts. So you throw up a quick website for them, it takes you 5 minutes to do, and you get free haircuts.
It's funny. I should mention that. When did my chat window go here? I think I lost the chat. Oh, come on. Maybe I haven't.
Perfect barber.
Too many. But I want to share a quick story. Is Yeah, I'll trade the barber for free haircuts. I once made, this is years ago. I have a pizza place. I once made a website for a pizza, and I told the guy, I will have your website live. I hadn't been registered before. This is years ago. I will have your website live before my pizza comes out of the oven if I get a free pizza. So I registered the domain name for the guy. I put it on my hosting account. I made a very quick web page with I took a picture that I had. I took a few items from the menu and I put their hours on it, and I had the website out for the website live before the pizza came out of the oven. So Christine is actually so hosting is needed no matter what part of this you use. Yes, if you, I mean, I assume assume that you have domains now, so you probably already have a hosting account. If you don't have domains or don't own domains, then this product wouldn't be for you. But if you want to find, if you have multiple domains that you own and you want an easy way to manage them and create one-page websites, then this is a great product for you, and you will need hosting. And so it's just a matter of signing up for a hosting account. There are thousands of web hosts. We recommend SiteGround. The only one that we don't tend to recommend is like GoDaddy because of different reasons, but they have been getting better. So, all right, Gene, I think we're done.
Yeah.
And we'll see everybody on the other side. We'll try to post this. Like we'll add some more information on the maybe your name snagger list as well.
Right.
Right. So now we're getting more people are raising hands. Is that?
That's okay.
All right.
I mean, if you have time, I have time.
Yeah. I tell you what, Gene. I have time, but I have to make a phone call. So.
Right.
Can you talk? I'm gonna mute myself. I'll be back in just a minute.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Let me see what we've got here. I don't see the hand raising thing. Let me find that. We could use this to build a multi-page site as well. Absolutely. Yes. All you have to do is link your menu to whatever pages you create. So instead of having a single page that jumps down to different sections, you could have the menu go to different pages that you created. So yeah, it's totally flexible. Let's see what else we have here. How long before we get access? You should have received access as soon as you purchased. It'll come directly from a response from PayPal, and you'll get an email or you should be forwarded right to the page where you create an account. If you didn't get that, just let us know and we'll set you up. That's not a big deal. Let's see what else we have here.
Okay, Gene, I'm back, and this is too funny.
Okay.
So my father's been trying to call me, and I don't eat pizza much anymore because I'm always low carbing.
Right.
But my parents are going to my favorite pizza place tonight, and he wants to know if I wanted to pizza on the way back.
I'll meet you there.
I said, that is just too funny. Yes, I will take a pizza. So I had a pizza in like 2-3.
Talking about pizza.
Yeah. All right. So, all right. What happened? Anything exciting happened while I was gone?
Yeah, I'm just looking for more questions that have not been answered. If there was any question that's important that was missed, please say it again because we have a lot of stuff to filter through here. So go ahead and repeat if you do have a question that hasn't been answered.
I'm going to go in and it's interesting how this all works. This is only the second webinar I've ever done using Zoom.
Mm-hmm. Working out pretty well.
Yep. So I do have a question. Are you going to add a buy now button option? So yeah, that's already there, but we don't have a payment processing system, so that's not available. Can we add our own HTML templates? Not yet, but yeah, and I'm not quite sure how that's going to work, but it shouldn't be that difficult. So it's one of those things where, I love my programmer. He's done a great job with this. It
all depends on what you mean by templates too, because you can take an existing template and paste it into the blank slate.
Yeah. Well, so that's something else. I'll just show people that are still, if you're lurking and once again, I'm not trying to intimidate people. What we really want people to understand is if I go to, I'm just going to go to the links menu page, for example. If all you do is use our links menu page and our for sale templates, that is an amazing thing to be able to create your own park pages and your own for sale templates. Yep. That by itself, if you're a beginner user, you don't need to know anything except how to type in the name of the domain, and how to choose a menu or add your own links. Once you can become preloaded with links, you can change your affiliate links. That's the basic affiliate marketing page. If you have an Amazon ad account, that's the other thing you'd have to do. So not everyone has an Amazon Associates account. Not everyone qualifies for an Amazon Associates account. So if you don't have an Amazon Associates account, then you can't really use the Amazon ad template, or there's no reason to use it at all. So one thing to mention, and we do have this in the documentation, if you don't have an Amazon account, you need to sign up for one, see if you get approved first, okay? But that you can still use the links menu page, the for sale template, and everything else. Where else? I was losing my track. Okay, so I just want to talk about advanced stuff. So if you're an advanced user that knows HTML, you're going to love, I'm just going to type in bootstrapdemo.com, just an example. By the way, I'll tell you my funniest domain story. I own the domain bootstrap.com. And I bought that because I constantly mistyped bootstrap.com.
Right.
I discovered that I am not the only one
Right.
that did that. And this page gets 2,000 visitors a month.
Awesome.
Typos. So what I did was I made a quick redirect page, which just goes here. This is the official page. These are Bootstrap templates you can buy. There are all kinds of templates and so forth. This is the official Bootstrap page. If I go to Bootstrap, these are some example templates, okay? This is an example pricing template, for example. See this pricing box? If I go to this page and I view source and I scroll down, I wish I could hide. There you go. And I scroll down, you see this pricing thing here? I can go in and copy the HTML of that section. I can go back to my Bootstrap demo. I can paste it in here. I can select the small biz template and I can click on publish and I can go to Bootstrap demo and there is my pricing page.
Just like that.
Just like that. So essentially, and by the way, it's not perfectly columns and all that kind of stuff, but you can fix all that stuff. But all of these templates or anything in here, any Bootstrap 4 code you find, all these different things, here's a masthead, puny headline masthead thing, right? I can click on view source. I can go in, I can find that little puny headline div right there. I can copy it. I can go back, paste that in there, click on update, load the page. There's my puny headline masthead. All you need to do is go and change the text. Now there are other sites that are out there. In fact, one of the things I was playing with the other day, Gene, was I made a custom search engine, which I thought I'd develop a little bit. So this is using the same sort of code, custom search engine. So if I type in here, example codes, it will load up Bootstrap example codes and sites that have Bootstrap example codes. You know, it's Bootstrap footer examples, grid examples. You know, so this will show you all kinds of HTML. There's tons of tutorials. There's tons of templates. This is another site called Start Bootstrap. There's free templates that are in here. Go in here, landing page and headers. It shows you different codes. Oh, I copied one of these the other night. I'll show you what it looks like right now. If I go in here to, I was showing Gene this earlier today, video header code. Check this out. It's a video header.
Awesome.
Right? So you add a video, you do the thing, it's just copy and paste HTML, and then you go in and edit the text. It's just so cool.
And you can grab all these components and piece them together as you like and save it as a file so that you can use it on multiple websites.
Right. You just drop it in.
Just edit the content as you go.
So as we get more, I mean, imagine the point where we get to the point where I'm a basic, and I know website design, I know stuff. I built, hundreds of websites for years. I used to charge money for that, but I'm not a big fan of spending a lot of time designing websites. But I would like to get a really, really good Bootstrap designer who can just create all kinds of neat looks with drop-in shortcodes and one-click installs. So that's kind of where we're getting at. So any Bootstrap design that you see from all these different sites and templates and so forth, you can just kind of go in there and we will make these codes for you. there's another one, heroic features. So here's another one, live preview, remove frame, go in here, copy the source code, go in here. There's a Jumbotron, and I'll do page features. I'm just going to go copy to there. Oop, nope, got to copy to there. Right to there. Go copy. Go back. Where's the last one I did? Trap demo. Click on update. View the page, and there's that. I'm missing the padding. But you can have a multi-column. It's all fully responsive. So I go in here and click on inspect and go back here and change the width. It's all responsive. See?
Perfect.
Simple to use. Okay, so let's see. Any more questions coming in here, Gene?
I don't see any new. Well, let me check this file here. There's a couple of different sections where there's questions, so I'm looking.
Yeah, and by the way, Ken typed in Bootstrap demo. Once again, I'm using example sites. So I'm just making this stuff up. Somebody probably owns Bootstrap demo, so don't go there. But we're appealing to domainers who just know that if they register a domain name, they can point it to a site and create an domain, or they can just set up domain forwarding and masking to domain. So we should be clear to any beginners that are watching this is that we're not suggesting that when you go and make a page like I just did here, that site's going to be live. You have to own this site. So you have to have registered this domain name. So you can't just type in any domain you want and have a site live. I know some people might be confused by this, but I'm just using example domain names here.
Yeah. Dan, Ken was asking, could we get around the SSL issue by popping all the domains into Cloudflare?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Yeah, I think so.
I haven't tested that, but yeah, you could.
Yeah.
You can also get around it by using the HTML file as well. So, and I also want to point out, let me go and just grab the small business template here as well. So, this is another one I did as an example, right? And I want to just go view source. So you can see that these load SSL. This is the Bootstrap. This is all free CDN stuff that's out there. This is the actual image, background image. You can see I loaded it here as well. If you scroll down to the bottom, this is the stats. So it loads remotely from the stats. So this work, I think I started to say this, is that this is mirrored after a lot of popular WordPress stats programs. So the code is good. It's popular in use. It's very simplistic, but you just want to be able to get a sense of how much traffic you're getting. This isn't about detailed analytics. That reminds me of something else, another benefit. Just going all day. But by the way, here are some CDNs. Once again, this cookie consent notice is from a free service that provides the cookie consent. So it's very cool. This is hard-coded in here. So you can't change it in the templates. We can probably do that at some point. But we may use cookies to offer you a better experience, analyze site traffic, and serve targeted advertisements. And it links to a privacy page, right? So you control the privacy page. You don't control this text. But one thing that used to drive me crazy, and it still drives me crazy, is a lot of people like to tweak websites. Simple is usually better, and we like really simple looking websites. I've seen so many people that will spend 100 times the time getting design just right and not focusing on the content.
Right.
It's really about the content. You've got to create good, compelling content.
I agree.
Don't worry so much about the design. Your visitors don't care. They came for content. I don't know how many times you search Google every day, you click on a website. I don't know how often you go to the website and say, oh my God, I love this design. You don't. You just want the content as efficiently as you want to be able to adjust content as efficiently as possible. That's the only thing that you want when you visit a website. Yep. Sure, there are ways if you're selling something, you want to have the good effect. But
right.
for example,
got a couple more questions here.
Yeah, I'll just say too, on the links menu page, for example, the goal of the links menu page is to get you to leave the site. You're not here to go like, oh, what a beautiful site. You want someone to click that link, click that link, click that link, click
exactly.
Hell off your site. That's why you want, so that's why those ugly park page systems work in a way, because they're not designed to keep people on a beautiful site. They're designed to take people off the site.
Yeah, it encourages people to get away from the site by clicking on one of the links.
Yeah.
So a few people said they signed up but did not get access. Could you please tell me who I need to contact if we need to get support? Well, yeah, go to metadomainer.com/support.
Who do
And
we know that works at that company, Gene? Do we know anybody there?
yeah, Dan will answer your question directly.
Yeah, so Gene, you know, we put up the order button pretty quick and stuff too. We assume that some people have gotten access. Gene, have you logged in to see if anybody?
No, I have not.
All right, we'll figure it all out after we get.
I mean, a lot of people say they have purchased, so
yeah.
we'll have to.
We'll figure it all out.
Yeah, that was a quick button that we just put up there real quickly. So hopefully it's working for most people. For some reason, a few people did not get access, and I don't know why, but we'll fix that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Joe Ward says, "What would be a good place to build databases on the database on the pages?" I'm not sure what you mean by that. Do you understand what that would mean, Dan?
You're talking about a table.
What would be good is a place to build database on the pages. Any suggestions on this?
I think maybe he's thinking the table, but table kind of looks like a database.
We'll have to get clarification on that. I guess it's worth learning HTML and CSS, right? Well, it's always good to learn that, but this system is made to make it so you don't have to. I mean, you just plug in a few details and you have an instant page. If you want to get into the HTML, you can, but it's not really necessary.
You know, I'm going to show people, because as a theme developer, I get tons of questions where people want to know how to change the look and design. I'm going to show you the greatest web design tip of all time, and it surprises me how many people don't know it. And that is, if you're on any web page and you right-click on any element, like inspect. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this thing. You right-click on any element. Can you see the? You probably can't see. Can you see the dev tools, Gene?
See the what?
You see dev tools on the screen?
No.
Yeah, crap. If you right-click on any element, you will see a box that looks like this. Can you see that now?
Yep, see it now.
This will show you the actual code that controls everything. So if you want to see what it looks like, if I go in here and change the links menu page right now is white. If I go in and change it to blue, that's the code for blue. Okay. And then I can go back and change it to the page I was on, which is, don't want that, is that. And crap, it didn't carry over. Long story short, you can right click and you can live edit any web page. You can try it right now. Right click, click inspect, click on any element, and you'll see the code that controls it. You can type in the code, and then you just plop that code into custom CSS.
You're such a nerd.
Yeah, so I actually have a video. I have a video on that on YouTube. So if you want to know more about WordPress and HTML, I have tons of videos on YouTube that I've done. Yeah. All right.
So okay, another question was, will this handle domains that I have on multiple hosting accounts? Absolutely. Once you have a domain, wherever it's hosted, it doesn't matter where it's hosted. You just upload the HTML file that you created in this system and you're done. So it doesn't matter where you have hosting.
Yeah. If driving traffic
for Amazon, I understand you need an Amazon Associate account, but not Amazon API. Is that correct? Yes, that's absolutely correct.
Yeah, that's correct.
You don't need the API. You just need your account and your ID.
And I want to be clear about this too, but we don't have full terms and conditions and all kinds of stuff set up. But obviously, these templates are subject to change. Amazon's program is subject to change. Obviously, if Amazon discontinued their search, their native ad search, we'd have to change the template. We can't be responsible for any changes to their system. But just be aware that Amazon's the only third-party system that we kind of rely on at the moment. So if something happened with Amazon, they changed the way they did business, then that might affect those pages. Just want to be clear about that. Someone say, is driving traffic to the page good to collect their emails? Which would be the easiest way with this system? If you want to collect their email address, you can just get, if you have MailChimp or Aweber or any other kind of a lead page, you can just drop it right in. You can just drop the code right into a page. So just like any opt-in form that you get, any opt-in code, you can just go in to an actual template. And I wish I probably should have had something ready to go. But if I go to links menu page, and let's just say that I had an opt-in form, I could just go into text mode, just like you would in any WordPress install, and I can drop that code in. So it can be opt-in form code here, right? So that's the opt-in form code, and I click on update, and I click on links menu page, and there it says opt-in form code. That's where it would appear, just like they gave you the code for. Someone's asking, do you know, Gene, do you want to answer this about FT? This is great, but doesn't FT provide something similar? And
well, yeah, FT is nice, but it doesn't give you the flexibility to create and change pages and design your own pages. They use a certain template that you have to use. I'm not sure what they have for revenue generating type things, but with this system, with MetaDomainer, you can do whatever you want, create your own links to whatever products and whatever monetization you want to do.
You're in complete control.
And you're creating web pages that you can sell along with the domain name. So it's not just a parked page, it's an actual web page.
Right. That's the big, this is a web page creation where you can get your pages indexed because you can actually create and add content to them with no, you're not dependent on it, but you're in complete control. So to me, that's the greatest thing, is that it's just on a WordPress installer, you control it. You just need a hosting account with add-on domains, or you need to use the domain forwarding and masking system, and then you're your own park page service with no fees to the park page system.
Right, and you're in total control of every aspect of it. That's what I like about it. Helene Palmer says, can you send us your YouTube page link? Well, that's inside of the member area if you have access. If you don't, maybe you can post that somewhere, Dan. I don't know.
Yeah, the other thing, well, if you're talking about, let me actually just give, well, she's talking about I think maybe she's talking about my YouTube link too, which is the, 1 second. It's so funny because YouTube keeps changing how they're, let me just get this channel here. Where's the actual?
And Steve says, can you run an ongoing blog on the blank slate? Well, you could, but it's not really meant for a blog because it's a static page. You can't sort articles like you would on a regular blog, but you can definitely add as much content as you want to the page. So if you have a static type of blog, sure, just add the content and keep adding to it.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't want to pull up the short link. I'm afraid to pull up YouTube these days because who knows what's going to show on the page.
Yeah, right.
Watch videos. But if you just go to YouTube and type in Socrates theme, you'll find my Socrates theme channel. So, and there is a MetaDomainer channel. There's no videos on it yet. Oh, and what you were just saying, I had a response to something you just said before I interrupted there. What was? I had a good point to make. Sorry, Kim. What was the last thing you were saying? You're answering a question.
We were talking about, what was it? Oh, the blogging type.
Oh, yeah, that's it. So, there is you see the Medium blog posts all the time, right?
Right.
I'm going to Medium. My phone has been ringing too much. I'm going to go and grab a Medium post here. So they keep changing their look, right? But you see this Medium post, you could actually duplicate this. So if you just want to make like one page kind of things, right? So you could go in here, like if I just go and copy this, and I go back here, and I go add a domain. I'm just going to type in Medium. Come on, man. I'm going to paste that. Crap. Visual mode. Visual mode. Click on publish. I don't want that. I want a different page. Oh, I should show. Remember that mistake that I made? I should show the mistake that I made. That was pretty cool. Click on update. So how Britain plunges worse. So you can see how this could make a cool little one-page blog page. So you can just go and copy. I'm not saying copy Medium. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you can actually just copy raw text from here in a WordPress visual mode. If you paste it like that and click on update, it actually looks really slick. From a, you can think about how you could make a sales page that was just clean HTML, old school sales letter, right? Because what's neat is that this inherits Bootstrap CSS. So anything, and I didn't even mention this, anything you do in this WordPress, I shouldn't say anything, everything you do in the WordPress editor, if I want to bold, right? It's basic HTML that WordPress uses. Maybe I want to italicize this. click on update, go in here, and it translates, bolded, italicized, it translates the Bootstrap code. How cool is that?
Yep, it's perfect.
Another nerdy thing. So the other thing I was talking about with Gene the other day was that I wanted to show the small biz template. So I went in here and dropped the small biz template in there, but I forgot to, I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm actually gonna get rid of these bottom sections. But I forgot to change the template, and I was on Amazon ad page. And so I loaded that up, and it looks like that, which is really cool.
Yep.
So it's a container look, right? And so you could have, this is my one-page store with a nice niche background image. So I could go in here, back in here, and I could go change the header background image, which should be under here. Wait, I gotta go into the, I gotta actually, see, that's something I'm learning. I have to go into this, maybe it's in custom codes. Nope. I had to go back to the template. It's a little tricky. I gotta change the masthead image. I'm gonna change it to that. Go back and change Amazon ad page, update. Once again, I've been using this for a while, but you can imagine you're gonna get familiar with it. But you can see now there's an image graphic behind there. So it's just pretty slick.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. We could go on all day showing cool things.
You know, the point is it's so flexible. You can do just about anything you want with it.
Just about anything with it. That's why that's why I just loved it so much. I kept playing with it, going, oh my God, you can do this, you can do that. Right. And we haven't even scratched the surface. And it's a domain management tool. It's a web page creation tool. You can use it in all kinds of different ways. And so we haven't even scratched the surface, but we just love the fact that you can do one-click snapshot for domainers. You can see all your domains in one place. If you manage a lot of clients, you know, we're going to get to the point where we have will be a very simple license where if you just want to make one-page websites as a business model for people, you can make web pages in 5 minutes for someone and charge a hosting fee, you know, an annual fee. And they don't have to worry about hosting and WordPress and security and all kinds of other things. So, all right. How long, once before we sign up? I guess we better sign off, Gene, so we can make sure people are getting access.
Yeah. We'll take care of that now.
Let's see. Government license. It should continue under previous logins. I think we got it all here. Is there any feature to add social share links? There's no feature, but you can just drop them in. So if you get social share code or icon code, by the way, Bootstrap, if I do Bootstrap, social, I'm gonna get distracted, social icons. There's all kinds of different code up there. So there's a Bootstrap button code. I could add all those, I could drop all this code in. You know, like there's a social share, but so you can find it, and we'll certainly have that. And once again, that'll be a future feature, drop in social links, you know. In fact, I can probably add that in the next update. I'll just add a short code for social share buttons.
Yeah, that's an easy thing to do.
Very, very easy to do. So,
and all these little features will be added as we go along. This is brand new. You know, yeah. You're on the ground floor of this one.
And we want that feedback too to know, because
yeah,
it's all good. All right, Gene, we got to wrap up. So, any more questions? People can reach us via email, and I hope we covered everything. I think we covered everything. We didn't expect to go this long, that's for sure.
Right.
All right.
But a lot of questions, so that was good. All right. Thanks for everybody for your demonstration.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Dan. Bye.
Thanks, Gene. Talk to you later.